Did you know Mesopotamians had a penchant for elaborate grooming, unconventional clothing, and mysterious burial rituals? Explore 6 strange habits that defined their fascinating ancient civilization. Strange Habit 1: Grooming Rituals. In the bustling streets of ancient Mesopotamia, where the Tigris and Euphrates rivers whispered secrets of civilization, one peculiar habit stood out: the Mesopotamians' obsession with looking fabulous. Imagine waking up in the land of ancient wonders, where the morning routine wasn't just a necessity, it was a full-blown performance. Picture this: you rub your sleepy eyes, stumble towards the mirror, and what do you see? Not a bedhead, my friend, but a canvas waiting to be transformed into a masterpiece. Mesopotamians took grooming to a whole new level. Forget the basic comb and toothbrush routine. They had an entire lineup of oils, perfumes, and cosmetics that could make a modern beauty store blush. Now, these weren't your run-of-the-mill beauty products. We're talking about exotic scents that could make a camel do a double take and eye makeup fierce enough to ward off evil spirits. Mesopotamians believed that a well-groomed appearance wasn't just about turning heads, it was a spiritual duty. So, while you're groaning about hitting the snooze button for the 5th time, these ancient trendsetters were concocting the perfect blend of oils for that heavenly glow. But the grooming gala didn't stop there. Oh no. The Mesopotamians believed in the power of accessories. Forget your fancy watches and designer bags. They adorned themselves with jewelry that could rival a royal treasury. Bracelets, necklaces, and earrings, every piece told a story, and boy, were Mesopotamians great storytellers. Strange Habit 2: Unique Clothing Choices. Mesopotamians took dressing to impress to a whole new level. Their clothing choices weren't just about comfort, they were about making a statement. Forget about practicality. These folks were all about the drama. Loincloths were like the OG skinny jeans, and tunics were the Mesopotamian version of a little black dress, always in style. But the pièce de résistance, the oversized hats. We're not talking about your run-of-the-mill sun hat. We're talking hats big enough to cast shade over half the city. These hats were so colossal that they probably had their own gravitational pull. Mesopotamians weren't just making a fashion statement, they were creating a microclimate under those hats. Now you might be thinking, why in the world would anyone wear such outlandish outfits? Well, dear reader, it wasn't just about looking good, although that was undoubtedly a bonus. Mesopotamians believed that their clothing choices could bring good luck, ward off evil spirits, and even score them a date with a deity or two. Imagine going to a Mesopotamian party, everyone adorned in their finest loincloths, tunics, and hats large enough to double as umbrellas. It was a fashion spectacle, a carnival of colors and shapes. And you thought your friend's questionable fashion sense was a head-turner. Strange Habit 3: Food and Culinary Practices. So let's talk about their daily grub. Mesopotamians loved their carbs, and I mean loved them. They were like the OG pasta enthusiasts. But hold up, this wasn't your grandma's spaghetti. No, sir. They had this thing called barley cakes, which were basically like the great-great-grandparents of our modern-day bagels. Picture a dense, round bread, probably harder than your last math test, but oh, so satisfying. Now let's spice things up, literally. Mesopotamians were the kings and queens of flavor. They didn't have your run-of-the-mill salt and pepper. They had a whole spice bazaar going on. Cumin, coriander, and even good old saffron were regulars in their kitchen. I mean, move over, celebrity chefs. These guys were the true flavor pioneers. But wait, there's more. You know how we have restaurants with fancy menus and Michelin stars? Well, Mesopotamians had something close, the first ever recorded recipes. Yep, they had their own ancient version of cooking shows, minus the Instagram filters. Imagine flipping through a clay tablet cookbook, yes, clay tablets, for a killer recipe for roasted pigeons or lamb stew. Move aside, Gordon Ramsay. Mesopotamians were the OG culinary masters. Strange Habit 4: Religious Practices. Imagine waking up in ancient Mesopotamia, where every day begins with a religious razzle-dazzle. The Mesopotamians didn't just hit the snooze button, they preferred a celestial alarm clock, their priests. These holy morning people would gather at the temples, ready to put on a show that rivaled Broadway. The Mesopotamians were serious about their gods, and they had a habit that was the divine version of hitting the town religious rituals. Picture this. Priests with impressive beards and elaborate robes, swinging incense burners like they're auditioning for a part in a cosmic dance-off. But the real spectacle? The Ziggurat climb, a Mesopotamian stairway to heaven, minus the Led Zeppelin soundtrack. These towering structures were basically ancient skyscrapers, and priests had the VIP pass to the top. The higher, the holier, right? Now, here comes the funny part. Imagine the poor Mesopotamian gods looking down, watching their dedicated followers doing lunges up the Ziggurat stairs. Is this how they worship us? They probably wondered, exchanging confused glances. And let's talk about sacrifices. No, not the sacrifice of hitting the snooze button on a Monday morning. We're talking actual offerings. The Mesopotamians believed in keeping the gods well fed, and that meant sacrificing animals. The priests were like the Gordon Ramsays of the divine kitchen, roasting, grilling, and BBQing in the name of worship. But hey, not everyone can be a Mesopotamian priest. Imagine trying to explain your job at a modern party. I'm a priest. Oh, what do I do? Just climb ziggurats, swing incense, and BBQ for the gods. No biggie. Strange habit 5. Sleeping arrangements. You see, the Mesopotamians had a knack for quirky sleeping arrangements. No, they didn't count sheep or have sleepovers with neighboring civilizations, but they did have an interesting approach to bedtime. Picture this. A room filled with beds of all shapes and sizes, from cozy straw mats to lavish wooden frames. It was like a Mesopotamian version of Goldilocks and the beds, finding the one that was just right. Now, you might be thinking, what's so strange about that? Well, my friend, it wasn't just about the beds. It was about the symbolism. Beds weren't merely for resting those tired limbs. They were statements. The higher your bed, the more important you were. It was like a social hierarchy told through bedtime stories. Imagine a Mesopotamian family dinner where they discuss the day's events. How was work, dear? One might ask. Oh, quite excellent. Got a promotion, and now I get a taller bed, replied another. It was the ancient equivalent of climbing the corporate ladder, only in this case, it was the bed ladder. But it didn't stop there. The Mesopotamians believed that sleep was a journey to the afterlife. So, your bed wasn't just a comfy spot. It was a one-way ticket to the divine dreamland. They decked their beds with intricate designs and adorned them with precious gems, as if the Sandman himself was a connoisseur of luxury. Strange habit 6. Unconventional entertainment. Picture this. Amidst the grandeur of ziggurats and the cacophony of the marketplace, they found joy in the most unexpected places, their version of Netflix and chill, if you will. Entertainment wasn't just about sitting around a fire pit and telling stories. No. The Mesopotamians had a flair for the dramatic, a zest for life that transcended ordinary leisure. Move over, Netflix, because these folks had their own blockbuster lineup. Their games were as wild as a lion on the hunt. Imagine playing a game where the goal was to throw a clay ball through a hoop on a wall. Think of it as the OG basketball, but with a pottery twist. The more you missed, the more pots shattered, and the bigger the cleanup crew you had to hire. Mesopotamian janitors were probably the real MVPs. And the music. Forget Spotify playlists. They had lyres, drums, and harps to serenade their evenings. Mesopotamian jam sessions were the talk of the town. Picture this. A Mesopotamian trying to impress their date with a killer lyre solo, the original power move. But hold on to your sandals, because the Mesopotamians were also avid board gamers. Yes, they had their version of Settlers of Catan or Monopoly. Imagine fierce battles over clay tablets and wooden pieces, with traders trying to outsmart each other in the quest for the best trade routes. The stakes were higher than a camel's hump in the desert sun. And that's it from this video. If you enjoyed watching this video, then you're gonna love this one. Click on the video on the screen right now and watch. Thank you.